the survey found that over 2/3 of workers, similar to what I mentioned about that CNBC article from October, want to continue to work at least 2 to 3 days. The Deutsche survey said at least 2 to 3 days after the pandemic, they expect to work from home. Now, the interesting thing about that, they talked about in this study and in this article that remote is changing. And we talked about earlier about how 54% workforce in the United States, I think in Germany it was 48%, if I remember correctly, are working at home. But so much that they're thinking about having a remote work from home tax.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If they did that in the United States, it would be in 1 year, based on the amount of people working from remote right now, it'd be $48 billion with a B.
Wow.
I mean,
Wow.
so again, we talk about all this investment in certain areas. We talk about what's going on with telemedicine. You know, I think I was saying earlier about how much telehealth's grown. You know, 38 or 35 billion 2018, predicted to go to like 135 or 185. That's via Fortune magazine. So you look at the growth there, you look at people wanting to continue to take advantage of that. You look at people working remotely, wanting to be able to continue to have that autonomy. And then you look at the investment that's going into these different segments. And so I just think it's going to be really, really interesting to see what happens and see what companies adjust and what don't, and how that affects their ability to bring in top talent.
Yeah, I agree. And I hope that, you know, the companies are taking the data and collecting the data now to help them be able to make those decisions in the year's end, right? Because I think towards the end of this year, we'll start to maybe see some things open up after several months of vaccinations getting shots in arms, maybe towards the first quarter of 2022. But that would be interesting to see how they are going to use the data that they've collected from a productivity. You know, they measure, you know, companies measure productivity different ways, but it's also a satisfaction survey, right? So,
Absolutely.
you know, how is the employee satisfied, and you can also see the company's results as well, right, for their gains and losses. So. Hear me, what you speak.